Fake bakers, what if I told you that there was a way that you could make your own spackle and it's completely non-toxic and air dry? And you can make large batches at once with a few simple ingredients. It also holds its shape really well. It lasts for many years. It does not mold or crack. You can add color and different things and it's not going to bleed into each other. You can also add toppings and that doesn't bleed. I have tested my theory over and over and over and been using this for years. You can see that it's super easy to pipe. There's no struggle versus that spackle. It has a lot of issues when you're trying to pipe it. It's either too thick or too runny. Also using things like spackle and silicone caulking have VOCs, so we're going to talk a little bit about the safety in that as well, especially for those of you who have underlying conditions such as anemia or asthma or eczema, so skin conditions, breathing conditions, blood disorders, and things like that. We're going to go over all of the things as well as some of the safety regulations for VOCs and some of the chemicals that are found in these products that we're using every single day when we fake bake. And before you exit the video and say you don't need to learn about these things because you don't have these problems, did you know that even low VOC for these chemicals can actually cause these problems? So this is why we're going to go over some safety regulations and things and talk about some of the chemicals that are found in everyday fake baking supplies. And we're also going to talk about my foam clay group that I've opened for people who want to use non-toxic materials. And not only using non-toxic materials, I'm going to show you how to make your own in batches so you never have to purchase them again. You're going to save so much money and time. There'll be lots of tutorials in there as well, and each tutorial again will be all non-toxic, air dry friendly, and it'll also be supplies that you have easy access to. And it's usually $10 to join, but I'm going to go ahead and do a special this weekend, so if you join before Monday, it's only going to be $8 for you to join. Now, some of you may ask what differs this group from my Fakebake private membership. The difference in this group is it's all non-toxic, only foam clay and air dry materials. So I'm going to teach you different tips and tricks and things that you can use in your own fake bakes as well. It's not going to just be tutorials, it's going to be lots of tips and tricks that can be used for you for years to come. So let's go ahead and get into this video where I'm going to share some information with you guys today, as well as a quick demo of my own spackle that is 100% air dry friendly and 100% non-toxic and super easy to make. So let's begin. So first thing we're going to talk about is epoxy. We're also going to be talking about VOCs. VOCs are things that are found in spackle, found in silicone caulking and things like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about the silicone caulking safety and spackle safety. So first we're going to go over spackle. We're going to talk about allergies. So some people are allergic to the compounds inside there. This can cause a rash, eye irritation, and difficulty breathing. People who are not allergic can also have issues after inhaling. Now, a lot of people think inhaling the dust is the only thing. When you're working with it wet, that's also when it's most exposed to VOCs and things and toxic chemicals. Spackle, especially older versions, contain silica. So those are many different brands that we use, DAP, Red Devil, things like that. They all have silica. Or silicosis, a serious lung disease when inhaled over time. This can include coughing and wheezing, difficulty breathing, pre-existing respiratory problems. So if you already have asthma or COPD, you definitely want to stay away from spackle and things like that. The next one is going to be silicone caulking safety. Respiratory irritation. This includes irritation in the nose, throat, and lungs. This is while the silicone is still wet. This is working with proper materials and things like that. And that's where we're going to go ahead and talk about the new group that I've created, where it's going to be all non-toxic for people who want to work with only non-toxic products. Skin and eye irritation, contact with these can cause, eye burning and things like that, eye damage, allergic, if you're allergic to it. Long exposure, if you're using it frequently as a fake baker, this can be fumes such as headache, nausea, and dizziness. Long-term effects can include, especially for titanium dioxide, is TiO2. This can cause nasal inflammation as well as potentially increase the risk of asthma and respiratory conditions. You want to make sure that if you are planning on using these, use them in a well-ventilated area. Also using a mask as well as gloves and things like that. Always have proper ventilation. If you have the ability to use it outside, never inside, especially with little ones. Make sure you're using proper PPE. You want to avoid your skin contact. If you accidentally get in your eyes, flush your eyes. And use, if you can, use a different alternative. We're going to talk about that as well. Here also is a long-term effects of VOC exposures. Now, VOC is a chemical that's found in paint, it's found in spackle, it's found in so many different household products that people are using for fake baking. So this is why I'm going to go over this. As your admin, I feel that I should share these information with you guys so you have this. Prolonged exposure, which means that you're using it daily, weekly, however long you're being exposed for, is liver and kidney damage. Prolonged exposure to high VOCs or VOCs can damage the liver and kidneys. It can cause central nervous damage. This can affect, I forgot to write this down. This is important. I have a class later and I'll be sharing this information, so I wanted to share this with you guys before I have my class. Exposure can affect the brain, the spinal cord, and causing problems with coordination, such as your vision, memory, and other neurological conditions. This is extremely important to learn, especially when you're new to fake baking or you're wanting to just get some up-to-date information, especially if you have any pre-existing conditions, especially anemia. Anemia is a big one. Factors influencing severity of VOCs, it's a concentration, so they always have concentration. So like, for example, if you're going to paint your house or a nursery or things like that, you always look for 0 VOC, bare paint, you know, things that you're working with when you're working with your home. It's going to be the same thing when you're working with your fake bakes. You want to make sure that you're getting the lowest toxicity. There's no reason to fake bake and risk your health. So there are definite ways that you can fake bake and stay safe, and we're going to talk about that here at the end. See, some VOCs, benzene and formaldehyde, are suspected carcinogenics, increasing the risk of developing certain types of cancers. Now guys, I'm not here to scare you. I'm not here to tell you don't fake bake. I'm here to educate you. And I've heard a lot of people say that they've been fake baking and they've been having issues over years of fake baking. And as a fake baker, as well as your admin, I feel that it's a good thing to kind of disclose with you guys while I'm learning these things, so you guys can learn them as well. Worsening asthma and COPD symptoms, worsening of their symptoms even when exposed to lower VOCs. Allergic reactions, some individuals can develop allergic reactions. VOCs resulting in skin rashes, hives, allergic symptoms. Duration of exposure, prolonged exposure to VOCs can lead to more severe lasting health effects. So let's say you have a pre-existing condition, diabetes, anemia, asthma, things like that, you know, they can actually worsen your symptoms, neurological conditions, migraines, the list goes on. You'll definitely want to talk to your doctor and say, I'm working with this, you know, is this safe? Also, some individuals may be more sensitive to others, even at lower concentrations. So that's something to pay attention to as well. Even at the lowest concentration, some people have issues, especially those with anemia. We're going to go over that as well right now. Damage to the bone marrow over time, decrease in the red blood cell count, potentially leading to anemia. So those who have anemia also really need to be careful with VOCs and using toxic chemicals while you're fake baking. Prolonged exposure to high levels of benzene can increase the risk of leukemia and other blood cancers. Same thing again. So this is just something to pay attention to, guys. Read up on this. All this information is available online, so you're able to go on different websites. They have different safety fact sheets. Most chemicals have safety fact sheets where you can download them. Also, Home Depot has them, so you can go on their website, check out the products that you're purchasing, and you can download those safety fact sheets as well. So this is epoxy. I know a lot of you guys work with epoxy. I know a lot of people work with resin. I won't touch it. I've known people over the years who've done tumblers and have gotten super sick, had epoxy poisoning, even using the proper PPE, using a respirator, working outside, same thing. When you're working with it daily or weekly and you're constantly fake baking with it, you become more of like somebody who's working with it industrial. So then it would change from, I'm going to use this one time on my floors versus I'm going to be using this weekly or monthly. So you're constantly exposed. So some of the things are long-term health effects. This includes repeated prolonged exposures to epoxy without proper safety measures can lead to more serious health conditions. Chronic skin sensitivities, permanent skin sensitivities, severe allergic reactions, more future exposure. So for example, let's say that you are exposed that time and then you're going to be exposed only a little bit the next time. You could actually develop more of a sensitivity to the chemical as well and have a stronger reaction. That includes inhaling epoxy fumes, chronic breathing difficulties, coughing, lung irritation, and occupational asthma. Neurological effects. Exposure to certain epoxy components can include dizziness, confusion, long-term nervous system effects with prolonged use. So prolonged use, again, is like you're just using it one time for your floors or something for your home that it's meant for, not for fake baking, not for crafts. So when you're constantly using those, like I see you guys posting in the group, you're constantly using those, that's a long-term exposure. Some of the things that can help you are gloves, long sleeves, safety goggles, respirator, mask when handling epoxy. When you guys see men working in construction and you see them with ridiculously large masks that have the ventilators on the sides and they've got those big goggles on and they're actually keeping themselves safe. When you see them wearing that kind of like plasticky suit and things, they're making sure that things aren't getting absorbed into their skin. So one of the things that I've learned over time about this is a lot of the stuff that's used in the fake bake industry is what's used in household items. So for example, paints, silicone, drywall, things like that is just things that people are using in fake bakes, and it's getting even larger. So I definitely say that the safety needs to be improved in this. There's got to be some kind of safety measures and, you know, some information that needs to be shared, especially in larger groups like mine with 15,000 members and growing. I feel as your admin, you know, I should explain these things to you. Short exposures to working with epoxy, they can cause immediate health issues, and these include skin issues, skin irritation, redness, allergic reactions, dermatitis, itching, swelling, and rashes. Respiratory issues, including fumes of epoxy, poorly ventilated areas, headaches, dizziness, nausea, throat irritation, asthma, respiratory conditions, and symptoms. So this is just some of the stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about. So guys, after learning all this information, I hope this is going to help you become a safer fake baker. And if you decide to join our Fake Bake Foam Clay group, I would love to have you. Again, join by Monday so that you guys can get that discount of $8. I'm super happy that I have created this safe fake bake community for you guys, so I cannot wait to share so many things with you guys and a safe way to fake bake. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or want to join, make sure you comment below in the comment section. Bye!